Hey guys, it's Leafy's Killer Keemstar here today, and we're going to be going over an individual who is known as Proty, the number one racist, homophobic, narcissistic manipulator on CNR. So guys, last time I made like an exposing video was a good year and a bit ago when I had like 100 subscribers. So two things. First of all, obviously my audience has grown. Thank you everyone who's subscribing. We're still growing strongly. So if you are younger and stuff, there is going to be swearing in this video. So if you don't want to watch that, don't watch. And second of all, if you don't care about CNR, so if you're just thinking he cheated or 1v1 or something like that, and you're going to click off the video, it's not that. This stuff is genuinely bad. That's one of the reasons I didn't make this video beforehand, because like if he applies for a job and someone sees this stuff, it's going to really go against him. But yeah, so first of all I'm going to be explaining why I'm making the video now after all this time and pretty much what happened. So we'll just get into that now. So the first thing I'm going to be going over is him as a manipulator, and he's a pretty good one. But yeah, anyway, a bit of a background. First of all, me and Proty were actually pretty good friends, like very good friends. You can see here, back when I hit like 100,000 views on my channel, he was one of the 6 people that I thanked. So that kind of shows like we were pretty good friends for quite a while. And again, that's another reason why I've not really wanted to make an expose on him and stuff. I did have, I wouldn't say respect, but going from someone who's been a really good friend, you don't really want to go on full on against them. But anyway, I'll get into stuff through this video, but pretty much a few months ago, we didn't like each other, and we'd just say we'd go our separate ways and leave each other alone. Which is what happened pretty much. We've not communicated with each other, and it's been kind of fine. But anyway, the reason I'm making this video, this is like the thing that pushed me to make it. It was just one more thing after many others in the past. There was a Discord server that made like a sniper ranking list. And by the way, if you're not interested in this stuff, skip ahead if you want. This isn't like career ending stuff. This is just the reason that I've decided to make this now. But anyway, there was a sniper ranking list or whatever. I wasn't on it at first, which I was fine with. I don't really want to be ranked. I'm not a sniper. I'm a trick shotter, and aside from all that, I've not really been trick shotting and sniping recently anyway. So I saw it, I wasn't on it, I was fine with that. And then someone said, oh, you're in Diamond or something, and they'd ranked it Masters, Diamond, Platinum or something like that. So I was like, again, I don't really care. I'm definitely not one of the best snipers. Maybe top 20 or 30 out of the history of all snipers. Definitely not the top. But then I see who it is in Masters, and again, no hate to anyone mentioned in this video. I'm friends with all of them, except Proty, obviously. But then I see that King Boo, and Ted were in Masters, and I was below them. And they'd said they'd made this ranking off the most recent games, like the most recent verses. And the last 2 1v1s I'd ever done was against Boo and Ted. Ted, one was a practice and he was rusty. I won that. And then a bit later, this was when I was practicing for Essence. I asked to 1v1 and we did, and I won that by like 1 point, I think. I only remember because I expected to lose against him. But anyway, that's one person I've beat who's in a higher rank on my most recent game. So obviously I should be in the same rank or higher. And then we've got King Boo, and this was literally just before I quit. He wanted to verse Essence, and he wanted to do a lot of practice with me. But he said, you know, can we verse? As in, an actual verse. And Boo's never denied this or anything. As I said, I've got no problem with anyone mentioned in this video except Proty. So me and Boo versed 5 times over the course of like 3 days, and I won every single one. Now, this is what I mean. I don't really care about this like sniping ranks and stuff, but I was like, how the hell can I be ranked under 2 people that I've beaten? Because those are literally the last 1v1s I did. So that's the only thing you can rank me off, unless you're ranking off Prime. And if they rank me off Prime, Essence was on the list. I beat Essence when I was in my Prime. So either way you put it, I would have to be on Masters. So I was like, who made this list? And then it was Boo and Ted who made this. So I was like, what the fuck? Like, I'm friends with both of them. They both know I beat them recently. So it's like, Boo, why would you put me under you when you know I've beat you like 5 times in a row the last time we played? He's like, no, I wanted to put you in Masters. So then I asked Ted the same thing. He's like, I said either Diamond or Masters. And then I found out it was Proty who's behind it all. And he put me in Bronze. So again, that enough isn't the reason I'm making this video. Like, it annoyed me. So I was like, what's going on? And then he pretty much, well, I'm not even going to show screenshots because it doesn't make sense. But first of all, he said it's not off recent games. It's not off Prime. It's about skill. Now, what the hell is skill defined by? I don't know. But if you've got me beating people at various points in my sniping history on CNR, whatever way you put it, I've always equal or better than people already in Masters. I should be in Masters. And then Proty said, okay, you versus Boo today, and I'll decide it. So I was like, fine. And Boo didn't want to. And like he made it clear he didn't want to. And then Proty was like, if you don't verse him, then you can't say anything. Nothing else counts. So this is the manipulating part. He's putting me against a friend to try and get us to go against each other. Obviously, I'm not going to show screenshots of me and Boo's DMs because he won't really want that out there, I don't think. But it's nothing bad. He's just pretty much saying, I don't want to do it. And the only way I'd be able to do it is push him. So that's where Proty comes into play. So he's manipulating me and Boo to take away from the problem. As in, I verse Boo and win, and that solves everything. So this isn't the first time he's done it though. He did this with mine and Essence's rematch, which is another big thing. Me and Essence, we used to have a lot of beef. We versed, I won, that was the end of it. We've been, I'd say chill after again. We just pretty much didn't talk to each other, but we weren't like talking behind each other's backs or anything. It was all over. And then one day, Proty says to me, this is kind of when we fell out actually. It's like, oh, you're trash, whatever. S wants to verse you and you won't accept. I was like, what the hell? S has never ever asked me to rematch. Yeah, I said after we versed, you can even go and look at the old video, it's like a year old. I gave him a week to rematch and he never wanted to. And that's what I mean, like we were fine. This was months ago when Proty brought this up. So I was like, fine, if he wants a rematch, I'll rematch. But I don't know why he'd want to. So then S comes to me and is like, yeah, when we verse and stuff. And I just asked him, why do you actually want to rematch? Like, we're not friends, but I thought we were cool. Like, I don't see the reason to rematch. He's like, you said you wanted to rematch me. I was like, I definitely did not. Proty told me that you asked me for one. So, yeah, again, manipulation. He tells Essence that I'm asking for a rematch, and Proty tells me that Essence asked me for a rematch, when in reality, none of us wanted the game. Like, nor me or Essence actually wanted that match. So that's just Proty setting us against each other. And as you can see here from Abo, like, he knows what's going on. So anyway, that's the first part. That's the manipulator part of Proty over with. Now, here's the thing. Proty is a very good sniper player. And his ego is definitely the biggest I've ever seen on CNR. But the problem is, he isn't the best sniper. So he doesn't lose much, or things don't go his way all the time. And when that does happen, it becomes a big problem. He gets very aggressive, and completely flips out about it. It's just very narcissistic. So Proty has got a fairly clean record. You know, he's a good sniper. There's no denying it. He is one of the best. But the main thing I don't like is his ulting. He will quit, as he says. He quits, but that pretty much just means he's going to make an ult and play that for a few months. Now, here's the thing. If Proty does very good on that ult, he will reveal it's him a few weeks later or whatever when he's done with it, and happily add that credit of what he's gained on that ult to his name. The only problem is if he loses a 1v1 or something that he's not happy with, he will never reveal that ult is him. For example, we've got the I can't remember what it's called. It was called like Red. I can't even say it. The Akatsuki clan. I don't watch anime. I don't speak Japanese, but you know what I mean. That was his most recent one, and he had a clean record on that. He beat quite a few people, so he happily reveals it's him. But we're going to be talking about one of his less successful ults, and I can happily know that the reason that he's never revealed this is probably because he lost to me on that ult. That's Efficient T. Now, loads and loads of people by now are convinced, like me, that is Proty, and there's just too many things that show it is him, and it definitely is. So, Proty quits for the 10th time last year, and this brand new sniper pops up called Efficient T, who's pretty good. So anyway, a couple of months down the line, I asked to verse him. We play, and I beat him. Now the thing is, I've never beaten Proty. I beat him once in a practice to 20. I think it's to 40. Like we were just practicing, but you know, like we played a lot. We were good friends, and I knew his play style. And I think I got to 40 before him or something, then we went on to 60 and I lost. But it's irrelevant. But anyway, I know how he plays. And this was on Red Death Platform, which was my best which was my best map at the time. So anyway, I asked to verse Efficient. We do it on Red. And I'm like, this guy is very similar to Proty. But anyway, I beat him. And shortly after, Efficient quits. He's never heard from again. So I was like, I actually asked Proty many times. I was like, is this you? Is this you? But of course, he's never ever going to reveal that it is him because I beat him. I've ruined his clean record on that account. Proty has brought up so many times that he's better than me and other people, but of course, he can't say that he's efficient because that'll just prove all that false because I beat him on that account with this screenshot here. So anyway, reasons that I know Efficient is Proty, and many other people know it as well. First of all, their playstyle is very, very similar. The reason I mentioned before the only time I beat Proty in practice was on Red is because that's the map I was best at and I could rush him. And that's the only map I ever beat Efficient on as well. So their playstyles are very, very similar. That's the first big thing, but that's not enough, you know? So anyway, second of all, neither of them would never use Discord. They both hate Discord, they'd never get it. They both use Instagram only. Third thing, very similar time zones, pretty much the same time zones. And the biggest thing is here, there's a player called Amir. He versed Proty. I don't know what the score was. It's irrelevant. Let's say 15-20 to Proty. And then he versus Efficient T. And keep in mind, they'd never met before. And by the end of it, it was 2 points more. So let's say 17-20 to Amir. And then Efficient says, you've improved by 2 since last time. Like, I've not got any definite proof. It's extremely hard for me to prove that is Proty without him just admitting it, which he won't do. But you can ask pretty much anyone in the sniper community. They'll say it's Proty because it is. But yeah, that's just one of another part that I thought I should speak up about because his biggest claims are, you know, I've never lost to you, blah blah blah. But anyway, he ults a lot, which is a pussy move. It's that simply. It's a pussy move. He will verse on an ult, so he's always got the backup of just never revealing it's him. Anyway, on to the last thing, and this is the most important part. Like, this is the real thing that he's getting exposed for. So, yeah, let's get into that. So you might have reached this part of the video and you still don't really care. Fair enough. This is things that have just happened to me. I mean, it does show he's a pretty shitty person. He manipulates. He's a pussy. But again, you know, if you've never seen him or he's never done anything to you, you probably don't really care. So fair enough. I'd agree with that. But anyway, this is the real part, and we've got some very damning evidence of the type of person he is, and this just goes along with the rest of his character, of why he's so egotistical and narcissistic. And yeah, let me just throw up some screenshots. So yeah, you take your time to read this if you want, pause the video, I don't care. Now, first of all, anyone saying this is fake, these are literal just screenshots from like a few months ago. I can't prove they're any more real because I've not edited them or anything. They're real. If you want to deny it and say they're fake, go ahead. But I don't know what else I could do to show the real. I don't know how to Photoshop Instagram screenshots at all. So if you want to believe the fake, you go ahead and do that. But I promise you, these are real. He said this to me in the context of being friends. Again, this was when we were friends. Like, as you can see, I'm kind of not very comfortable with it. I don't want to argue with him because, you know, I'm good friends and I know he can get pissed off pretty easily. But I'm just like, you have your opinion, I don't really agree with it, whatever. But yeah, so as we can see from this, he hates all Arabs, he hates all fat people, he hates all LGBTQ people. Now, I don't care what your opinions are, but it's just blatant, you know, racism and stereotyping, hating stereotypes. I don't know what your experiences are, but Proty is 16 or 17, I'm pretty sure. I have no clue what life experiences he has had to make him have these extreme radical views. Like, fucking hell, this is some shit you'd find off like a Nazi subreddit or something. I don't know. But yeah, I don't know how you can have so much hate, but unless you're narcissistic and egotistical, which is what he is. So anyway, I don't know, say 1,000 people watch this, let's just add up all the percentages of the people and groups that he hates. Give me 1 second. Okay, after some extreme mathematics, I have found out that if we add all of the percentages of people that Proty hates together, it actually adds up to exactly 50%, with 5% being Arabic people, 6% being LGBTQ, and 39% being overweight or fat. So if 1,000 people watch this, that must mean 500 people are hated by Proty, so lucky you. So again, that's another, this is why it's so big. Like, he's named like, you know, 3 big groups. That makes up a lot of people that he's hating just because of what they are or how they are. As I said in that screenshot, like, I'm really skinny actually, and as I said, like, if you're overweight, you know, like, that's an L in my opinion. Like, I'm happy being skinny. If you're overweight, I won't want to be overweight, but, you know, I don't hate them. As I said, I just think it's unlucky for them if you're overweight. But as you can see, he's like very aggressive, and like this was not joking, by the way. Like, don't try and make that excuse for him. This was not joking. He genuinely hates these people. So something, there's a difference between not wanting to be something yourself and then hating other people who are. So yeah, that's pretty much what I've got. I mean, there's a lot of other small things, but they're more just to do with me and like stuff in CNR, not really important. But I don't know. If an employer sees that shit on him, they probably will not hire him. That's literally like nearing hate crimes. So do what you want with this information, but again, putting me and Boo against each other, trying to manipulate us against each other is just like the final thing. I was like, I've had enough of this shit with Proty. I told him when we went our ways, I was like, if you keep giving me shit, I've had enough. And he didn't until now, so that's why I've made this video. Proty, you had it coming. If you hadn't started shit again, I'd have left it, but you did. That's pretty much it. Do what you want, but everyone knows that Proty is a bit of a cunt, so bye.